that we're here building a more inclusive Gibraltar, and we're always going to be here. As long as they need us, we will help them. And that is what I hope people take away from this. We're here, we're proud, and we're never going to leave.
The way things are going in the world, obviously your social media, Trump's America, those things are trickling through. You'd be surprised how much of it has an effect on emboldening people, even in Gibraltar, to have be expressing antisocial and prejudiced thoughts and feelings that can cause a lot of trauma for people. And I think this lets people who could otherwise be isolated know that you're not on your own and there's still people there to support you. That's why I think it's important.
More than just a parade, the march is a visible reminder of the progress that has been made and celebration of a community where everyone is encouraged to be proud of who you are. The spirit of pride remains stronger than ever. A day filled with joy, celebration, reflection, and above all, community. From inspiring speeches and outstanding local performances, Pride Awards, and a colourful parade, Pride 2026 once again demonstrated the values that bring our community together: equality, respect, inclusion, and love. It is a reminder that the journey towards equality is ongoing and that each of us has a role to play in creating a society where everyone can live openly, authentically, and without fear.
Happy Pride! Happy Pride! Happy Pride! Happy Pride!
Get premium Bosch boilers delivered and installed the same day, even within the hour. We deliver and install every day, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. whenever you need us. We also sell top-quality floor-mounted boilers with a 5-year warranty, the best on the rock. With us, you're covered for the long run. TCA, simply the best.
At Hassan's, we are driven by our people, those that work with us and those that we work for. We provide a solid foundation to ensure a successful future for the next generation and always provide the best possible service to our clients. We are proud to be recognized for our top quality work year on year and to be able to share our success by supporting local community initiatives and through donations from the Hassan's Charitable Trust. Hassan's, your success story starts here.
Looking for insurance that covers every part of your life? From your car, home and motorbike to your health, pets, boat and travel, we've got it all covered. We make insurance simple, clear and tailored to you. Visit us at 68 Irish Town, Monday to Friday 9 to 5:30 or Saturdays 10 till 2. Call 200 44628 or email gibraltar@ibexinsure.com. Ibex Insurance, making life easier.
Shake off! Shake off humans in the house! Shake off years of dodgy connectivity. Double your bandwidth, surf with agility. Gibraltar's #1 Wi-Fi's here. What are you waiting for when you can switch and save this year? Terms and conditions apply.
Well, it's a gigabit, not a gigabit. When the promised speed just doesn't quite hit. They say it's fast, but the truth surprises when they won't reach your wireless device. It's a gigabit, not a gigabit. When the promised speed just doesn't quite hit. They say it's fast, but the truth surprises when they won't reach your wireless devices.
This is GBC News, the headlines. Chamber of Commerce calls on government to compensate businesses for the damages caused as a result of power cuts. Government claims the sediment plume visible off the east side is made up of uncontaminated silt from breakwater construction works. Catalan Bay residents describe it as systematic pollution of the waters, which they believe is damaging the water quality. Tougher bail rules for adults convicted of certain child sex offences proposed by government. And a payroll giving scheme for GBC Open Day allows staff at Entain to donate from their salaries. Good evening. The Chamber of Commerce is calling on the government to compensate businesses for the damages caused as a result of power cuts. It says companies are fed up, describing the situation as totally unacceptable. The Chamber says if those in charge cannot provide a resilient power supply for the community, they should bring in a team of qualified professionals who can. Cristina Cortez asked President of the Chamber, John Isola, about the impact of power cuts on businesses.
In this day and age, without power, you can't do anything. So if you can imagine a restaurant, for example, cannot tend to its customers. Food that's been taken out of freezers to cook may have to be disposed of. Shops cannot operate their tills, etc., etc. So just if you think about a total power cut in an economy like Gibraltar, with 30,000 employees for 2 hours, just think how many man hours have been lost, and the cost of those man hours is significant. And then the disruption that it causes, because it's not just the couple of hours or longer in the previous power cut that the power is off. It's then bringing back up systems, because that takes time. But it's also the investor confidence. You know, we're trying to attract businesses to Gibraltar. We're trying to grow our economy. And if we cannot give that confidence of a stable power supply, then that's obviously going to make people think twice.
The Chief Minister has said that Gibraltar is an electricity island and that it's important that it remains so for Gibraltar's autonomy, and that therefore there's always an inbuilt risk of power outages when you don't have a wider country to provide power backup. Do you accept this premise?
Yes, I do accept that, but I don't think that is a good enough reason for the number of power cuts that have been happening. I'm not an expert, and I'm sure the Chief Minister isn't, and neither are his colleagues in the government. But what I cannot understand, and what businesses cannot understand, and the community at large, is how often we have a general power cut for the whole of the communities. Surely there must be ways of isolating different districts and creating backup for different districts, so that one district goes down or one area goes down, the rest are not affected. I think in layman's language they could tell us what the problem is. We've invested huge amounts on a new power station, on a battery backup system, yet we're still having power cuts. Is it the network? If the network is the problem, has a survey been done of the network? And what does that survey say? And what is the issue and the issues in that network? And what are we planning to do to resolve that over what period of time, so that people, businesses and so on can plan and know what to expect? We just don't know. And frankly, our press release reflects what our members are saying. They're absolutely livid, furious. You know, these are very, very challenging times for business in Gibraltar. You know, we have the effects of the treaty that is going to create headwinds for some sectors, and a lot of change and work is going to have to go into that. And to be coupled with power outages when you least need them, the peak of summer with the World Cup going on and so on and so forth, it's just totally unacceptable.
The government has introduced legislation for fines for contractors who damage electrical infrastructure. However, this isn't always the case. As we saw the other day, it could be an earth fault or an interruption to the gas supply. So what are you calling for in addition to what's already there? You've said the government should provide compensation.
Well, I think given the number of power cuts we're having and the losses that are being created, the damage that's being created to the economy, I think businesses should receive recompense in some way, and otherwise, what pressure is there on those in charge to make sure that these things don't happen? It's there's never the same reason for the power cut. So surely there must be now a way of identifying what might be the cause in the future for future power cuts, and let's try and be one step ahead of that.
The government has said the sediment plume visible off the east side is made up of uncontaminated silt from breakwater construction works and does not pose a risk to bathers. In response to GBC questions, it says the plume is caused by material deposited to construct the breakwater, describing it as silt, which it says is not contaminated. It says there is no contamination with bacteria and that the water is safe for bathing.
The government told GBC bathing waters are routinely tested every fortnight and that this was recently increased to weekly following reports of sewage issues in La Linea. The government says all recent results have been clear and are published on the Environmental Agency website. On why the sediment is not fully contained, the government says contractors are required to use silt curtains to control the spread of sediment. If these are damaged, the Department of the Environment requires work to stop until repairs are carried out. The government says the Environment Department remains in constant contact with the contractors and has, on several occasions, instructed work to stop when it was not satisfied or when sea conditions required it. It notes the works are being carried out by a private developer.
Meanwhile, the Environmental Safety Group is urging residents to continue reporting noise, sediment and marine concerns linked to the East Side Reclamation Project. The group says public feedback is vital and welcomes enforcement action and ongoing environmental monitoring. Details on who to contact to report concerns can be found on our website, gbc.gi. Meanwhile, residents of Catalan Bay have spoken out against the sediment plumes, saying this problem has been happening continuously since reclamation works started. Representing senior residents, Chris Riddell described it as a systematic pollution of the waters, which they believe is damaging the water quality.
The bathing water quality is not good. It is polluted by suspended particles. It is going everywhere. We're in breach of international procedures, and it is affecting areas which are protected internationally, which are part of the Berne Convention, and we are damaging that. We are damaging the southern waters of Gibraltar by allowing all this silt plume. And the filter feeders in the sea are the first indication that something is wrong. And they are dying on those rocks. That used to be filled with mussels, and now they're dying. They're dying because of an overload. And they can say whatever they want.
And the government do say that the water is being tested weekly, and that recent results show that it's clear. So,
well, they test for bacterial loads, which will get worse, because once you start killing filter feeders, they will get worse. But look at the images, look at the photographs. Is the government completely blind as to what's going on, or they want to misrepresent that as well? How can you have a government who approves the destruction of the environment, the destruction of our way of life, the destruction of our beaches for the benefit of the ultra-wealthy? It is outrageous. Future generations will not have healthy beaches because even in the studies which they've done, it says this will be stagnant water, the beach will be lost, it will have to be regenerated every year. Regenerated when we had it for free.
And these silk curtains, which they need to be using, which we can see in the areas of Catalan Bay and
maximum.
Are you suggesting they're not the appropriate ones?
Of course not. They're not protecting anything. I can show you images where the silt is just flowing through them. It is not doing anything. Some of them are too short, and it just flows underneath. You've got a 6-meter water column at least. Everything is flowing underneath it. This is an environmental disaster. Everything is going also to protected areas. We are damaging by suspended particles protected areas. It's also having transboundary effects, which is going to have a comeback. But not only a comeback because of transboundary effects, is because if we destroy shellfish and filter feeders in the area, it reduces the water quality of the future. And we are participants in dumping and destroying marine life. The beaches are only going to get worse. We predicted this. Just like we said the piers, just like we said the shellfish. We predicted this, and the government does not act.
In other news, the government is proposing tougher bail rules for adults convicted of certain child sex offences. Under amendments to the Prison Amendment Bill, convicted offenders awaiting sentence would only be granted bail in limited circumstances. The amendment would apply to any sentences imposed after the law comes into force.
The Minister for Justice, Nigel Feetham, has proposed amendments to legislation aimed at tightening the law around bail after conviction in certain child sex offence cases. In cases in which an adult has been convicted of specified offences and their sentencing is adjourned, bail would only be allowed if the court is satisfied there's no real prospect of a custodial sentence or if exceptional circumstances justify release. The burden would fall on the convicted individual to prove this. The government says routine personal or financial considerations, including arranging affairs, would not qualify as exceptional circumstances. If bail were to be granted in these situations, the court would have to give clear and reasoned decisions in open court. The Minister for Justice has said the intention is to bring the bill before Parliament ahead of the summer recess.
Digital asset platform Bullish has received approval from the Gibraltar Financial Services Commission to expand its businesses by offering tokenized securities. Bullish CEO Tom Farley said no major exchange currently offers tokenized securities at scale. Speaking at a digital assets event on the Sunborn, he told Katie Docker the company could have launched the service anywhere, but chose Gibraltar because of its innovative yet well-regulated framework. He added that Gibraltar's standing in the international financial sector has grown since it was removed from the FATF grey list. Bullish was listed on the New York Stock Exchange last year.
For many years, digital assets was about retail trading. For better or for worse, it was about frog coins and monkey drawings. But what was actually going on was the building of this layer of programmable finance, enabling the $300 trillion global securities markets, stocks and bonds, to move onto public blockchains. And that is what is happening. I expect to see that happen very rapidly in 2027, and frankly, for the next 5 or 10 years, because trading these stocks and bonds on public blockchains is just a better mousetrap. It enables 24/7 trading, it enables more efficient trading, and enables a whole bunch of advantages that you don't get in the current clumsy way that we trade these things.
And the government, indeed Nigel Feetham, has been promoting Gibraltar as a centre for digital assets and fintech. Do you see Gibraltar becoming a significant global hub? What gives it that potential?
I'm going to show my age. I've been the leader of 12 regulated entities as either chairman and CEO across 3 continents, basically all of the world's premier regulatory authorities. And I want to say that Gibraltar, and in particular led by Minister Nigel, as I call him, has been a perfect home for us, because you have this ministry pushing for innovation, backed by a credible regulator. The model here works beautifully. I've only seen it 1 or 2 other places around the world. That's why we keep coming back to Gibraltar. We have a choice. We have a choice of where we put our new products, our most innovative products. We could have gone to the United States, say, or Germany, say. We came to Gibraltar for tokenized securities first because of this environment that's fostered by the ministry.
And many people still associate crypto with volatility. What would you say to those who remain skeptical?
I think the skepticism is well earned. I mean, you had in 2021 CEOs going to jail. You had this attention on these frog coins and on these monkey drawings. But what people missed was in the Bitcoins of the world, or Ethereum or Solana, you had the building of this layer of programmable finance, real adult compliant services that now are going to enable massive markets to move on chain. That's what's exciting for me.
You're watching GBC News. Coming up, Entain introduces a payroll giving scheme for the GBC Open Day with staff donations eligible for gift aid. And have you won El Gordo Gordo? We'll be back in a few minutes.
The moments that matter don't wait for Wi-Fi. From sharing big news instantly to streaming your favourite shows on the go, your connection should always be there. That's why we've made our pay monthly plans bigger, giving you more data at the same price, so nothing gets in the way of staying close to what matters most. Visit jibtele.com or call 200 52200 to sign up.
The start of something beautiful. One wall, one unforgettable experience. Make your event bloom.
There's been an issue processing your hotel deposit for your upcoming trip.
Take a moment. Because what matters most is worth protecting.
Welcome to CEPSA Gibraltar, your one-stop station for every journey. Refuel fast, recharge your EV, and drive cleaner with our AdBlue service. Step inside Carrefour Express for fresh food, drinks, and daily essentials. From road trips to quick stops, we've got everything you need, all in one place. CEPSA Gibraltar, powering your drive every day.
Providing the friendliest service in Gibraltar for over 25 years. Music Corner, your home for Apple products and tech.
If you're looking for the perfect spot to enjoy breakfast, lunch or dinner, make your way to Bianca's Bar and Restaurant down at Marina Bay, where we've been serving great food since 1979. Our tempting menu and daily specials are available for dining in or takeaway. Relax and watch the world go by at Bianca's Marina Bay, the happiest place out of town.
Your go-to for healthy living in Gibraltar.
Our world runs on momentum. From the first light over the rock to the plans we make for the days ahead, each moment carries us forward. For 150 years, Capura Insurance has moved with that energy. Rooted in Gibraltar, reaching the wider world, built on the past, and looking to the future, wherever momentum takes you next. Capura Insurance will be by your side, every step of the way.
Opposition, your questions. Keith Asabarathi will be in the studio answering your questions this Thursday just after 1 o'clock. Email questions@gbc.gi or WhatsApp 200 66200. Opposition, your questions. This Thursday as from 1 on Radio Gibraltar and GBC Television.
Welcome back. Entain has introduced a payroll giving scheme for GBC Open Day, allowing staff to donate directly from their salaries. The company says donations will also qualify for gift aid, potentially increasing the amount raised for local charities. Entain raised more than £15,000 for last year's appeal, with GBC staff visiting the company's offices today to explain how Open Day supports charities. Our report, Kevin Ruiz, found out more from Entain's Anthony Ladislaus.
So at Entain, we've got our community crew, and that's a group of colleagues that are across the various functions we have that get together to plan these community events. And one of our colleagues, our people lead in Gibraltar, came up with the idea that this is something you can do in the UK quite easily through Just Giving, where you can sign up, when you're making a donation, you can sign up for gift aid, and then they will do the paperwork in the background. So we thought, that Gibraltar has equivalent legislation, more or less equivalent legislation. Is this something we can take advantage of? So we approached the Paula and the GBC team. After a few discussions, the initial view was it's probably a bit administratively unworkable. So that was an initial spanner in the works. But with the help of Minister Feetham and John Lester at the tax office, we had conversations as to how we can make this practical and a viable option for Entain and other businesses in Gibraltar that might look to support the Open Day in a similar fashion. So speaking to them, they have facilitated a way of Entain being able to provide details of who's made donations and how much to the GBC accounting team. They can then issue the relevant certificate to us to provide our colleagues to submit in tax returns, and then hopefully, if all works to plan, the net result is that the Open Day not only get the initial donations, but also that extra bit of gift aid from the tax office, which all goes to support the cause.
So today we've been speaking to the staff at Entain, as Entain have come up with a fantastic initiative to support the GBC Open Day, where their staff will do a salary sacrifice of £1 pre-tax to go towards the fund, and no doubt that's going to raise a lot of money for us.
And we thought it was very important to people to actually learn about where the money goes and what we actually do throughout the year in Gibraltar to raise money for the GBC Open Day. There were actually a few locals sat in the crowd, which I thought was quite cool to come and learn about something that's been going on, particularly my whole life. But yeah, I guess some people come in to work in Gibraltar and then they leave, so they might not be very sure of what the amazing GBC Open Day is and where all the money goes.
And I think it was important to show them all the clips sort of side by side, the fundraisers, where the money goes, etc., because people might not watch the full thing, especially when you've got busy jobs or whatever. And like you said, many of them might not be local. They may not know much about how it exactly works. It was good to show them visually the fantastic thing that is the GBC Open Day.
And we hope that maybe this also encourages some other companies to come up with similar schemes, because every penny counts and it all goes to an amazing cause, which is, raising money for local charities.
St Joseph's Lower School is welcoming a new leadership team. Genevieve Vinette is the school's new head teacher. She comes from St Paul's, where she has been deputy head and brings over 20 years teaching experience. Her deputy will be Julia Steich. Former St Mary's head of science, she has been in the profession for almost 15 years. They told Katie Docker their first priority is getting to know the staff and the pupils.
I've already been lucky to do 5 sports days up here in St Joseph's, so I've been able to introduce myself to the parents, which I think is really important. And the kids are already been really, really warm and giving us hugs, and the staff have been amazing. There's a beautiful team up here, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
And education is about far more than academic achievement. How important is well-being, confidence and personal development in your visions for St Joseph's?
I think it's pivotal. I think we both agree that unless children feel safe and happy and well cared for, they're not going to be able to learn. So the foundation of teaching has always been making it a safe space, taking into account children's different needs, emotional, social, all of those things go together to make a good learning community.
Yeah, and it's about making it a happy place, and for the staff as well, and for the parents. We want staff to come into work in the morning feeling happy to come in, and for parents to feel at home as well. I think it's about all of us collectively working together for the benefit of the children. That's why we're here.
And with changes to the school calendar and education evolving locally, how do you ensure St Joseph's continues to give children the best possible start?
I think, again, it's all about having that sort of community feel, which is evident here already, and it's about building on those already strong foundations and ensuring that all stakeholders are involved together and listening to all parts of that school community and making sure that everyone feels heard, involved, and that their views and opinions are not just welcome, but they're sought after.
Yeah, and it's about giving those children those high quality learning opportunities.